How to build HR from the ground up in complex markets with Maher Sabbagh. There you are. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Samir. Thank you for inviting me. Good, I'm good, all is well, and thanks for having me. And good morning to your audience as well.
It's not just my audience, your audience as well.
Yes, and my audience. I have few people who confirm to me we're joining, we're attending. That's good. Let's support each other.
Lovely. And they can, during the conversation, if they want to ask some questions, they're happy to jump in and put in the comments, and we can always address and answer them.
Good.
So, Maher, before we begin, my first question to you is very simple because this is a leadership podcast and this is about leading with clarity. And the podcast's intention is to help people who are mid-level managers to become more better as leaders. What is leadership to you and how do you define it?
Leadership, I would consider it be yourself, be authentic, and be able to develop people. I'd love to, when I work with people, I love to inspire them. I love to pass my knowledge to them, and I love to see them growing and nurturing them. One of my proudest moment is when I left one of the markets. I developed my successor. He took over my role as a successor. Then he became the market general manager as well. So imagine from HR goes to GM role. So to me, leadership is developing people and nurturing them to grow.
And leadership is not just a title, right? Because if you're saying be authentic, be yourself, that applies to everyone. It's not applying to anyone who has just a title.
For sure.
What do you mean by be yourself? Can you open that up a little bit also?
Yeah, because sometimes when as you said, it's not a title. Some people would think that leadership comes with the title, comes with the level and the hierarchy. To me, no. I mean, leadership could be in any level of the organization. It's the personality, it's the character, it's the skills, it's the vision of the person. All of these comes together and create the type of the person who would demonstrate a certain kind of leadership. It doesn't mean you're a lead, you're the top of the organization and you are the leader. No. So in a team, for example, in an HR team, you have 5, 6, 7 people. I am the head of HR, but there might be another person who would be conveying himself as a stronghold leader potential from his attitude, behavior, initiative taking. Some people will say, I will take risk and I will see where it lands, where it ends up. I don't want to say calculated risks as well, but these are the characteristics part of it to form a leader.
When was the first time you realized that leadership is not a title for yourself in your own journey? For the first time you're like, oh my gosh. I mean, it's more easier to say when when you reach there and you have those titles. But when was the first realization? Was it in a conversation with a mentor, or was it when you're reading a book, or when you got a leadership title? When was it that you realized that leadership is not just a title?
When I started my first work after graduating from university, I joined a company, and at that time it was like the first time I go to corporate, international company, and I realized that my title is not giving me any empowerment, anything, and from inside there is fire going on. There is a steam engine wants to move things, push things. Exactly. And young, graduated from university, have energy, and I was always going to my manager, and my manager, I mean, he's at the retirement stage. Imagine the difference. So I want to do this. Wait, my friend. No. Then it started to feed me again, until I went to the GM after my manager retired, and they said, you take over. I went to my manager, to my GM, and I told him, listen, I need to do 1, 2, 3. He says, just go and do everything. So from inside, this is where I said, okay, this is where I need to push and move things. And I realized that I have this tendency, but it was tough learning because you need to learn how to be patient, how to
Mm.
manage things, give it one deeper thought, take one step backward before you make the next move, you know. But
Yeah.
the fire was there from the beginning, actually.
The fire was there, and we were having this short conversation before we
Mhm.
started, where you said you were never into people, and you had a
Mm,
completely different education background, and then
mm,
what you stepped into and how you arrived over here was a journey by itself. And I said, let's pause it and have it in this
yeah,
conversation. So,
yeah.
so share with us, how did you get into people development, and how did you get into a people function role,
Mhm.
uh, and what was that journey for you?
Mm. I like this. It's very interesting for me. I finished university, and I was always like thinking,
What did you study?
I studied business administration, and I wanted to become like a business owner. I wanted to do my own business. When I was in university, I was doing lots of transactions, selling, buying,
Mm.
these things, trying to make generate kind of a side income. So I've never thought of being a people and culture or HR or personnel. So, and this is the thing, I wanted to create my own business, and I was working with few of my university mates on some projects, and I had in my idea even that I wanted to create a mechanical workshop because I wanted to study mechanics,
Mm.
but it happened. So when I graduated, I joined this company. At the beginning, they wanted to arrange for a grand opening for this manufacturing facility. I joined them, and they asked me to arrange the event from A to Z. I says, "Oh my God!" So yeah, but anyway, it went very well. I managed to click with all the people. We arranged the grand opening, but then we finished the opening, and they said, "We want you to join a function. It's called personnel."
Okay. Where is this? In
That's a
Saudi or
Jordan. That's a
in
Jordan.
Jordan? Okay.
Yes, in Jordan, Amman. I says, okay, let me see what is that personnel. At that time, my brother used to work in this company,
Okay.
but he said before he joins the personnel, he was one of the top management people. He says, I want him to understand the industry. So they put me 6 months on the production line.
Mm.
I learned the production process. I was working on the machinery. I was working 12-hour shift with the other people. I made connections. I learned about the people. I felt what they feel. I suffered what they suffer, you know, standing 12 hours in one shift, no seats, no chairs. You just go to the cafeteria, you had your meal. So, and I was all over the production lines. After 6 months, they took me to the management. There, when I worked with my about to retire manager in a department called personnel. And I started to learn personnel is, yeah, bringing the file, the documents of the employee, creating a file, tracking the attendance, tracking leaves, and so on. And then I started to learn more about what is personnel, and I realized that there is nothing there. It struck me really. Then I felt that I realized that this role really addresses and manages the suffering of the people, or what the organization wants from the people and what the people wants from the organization. And
Mm.
the people started to come to me because I'm in personnel. So whatever they have an issue, they have a challenge, they have a request. From there, it started to, the blocks started to become together.
Mm.
Uh, First thing I did was creating job descriptions. Then I started working on employee benefits, and that was back in 1998, huh?
Mm.
Then I started doing the benefits. I started working on this employee relation with the government affairs, labor office quotas, whatever.
You're saying
Developed it.
98 because there was no chat GPT that time, right? No internet, no chat GPT. You
Nothing.
had to do everything.
No Google Map, nothing. No Google search. Yeah, barely the email was on the dial-up.
Yeah.
The connections was is unbelievable. And this is the beauty of it.
So how did you
Sorry.
identify what is the best practice? How did you identify what is the best
Hi.
practice when you're creating all of this?
By talking to people, by having all my, I used to have connections over there. I used to have friends. I used to go to social insurance. They were my friends.
Mm.
They connected me with some other businesses. I was meeting with the Chamber of Commerce and Chamber of Industry. I was attending sessions as well. So I was pushing myself to learn. Okay, and at some point, interestingly, I was taking some learning, some training courses at my own cost, like labor law. I took a course at labor law at the Chamber of Commerce, so I was attending those sessions, those courses actually, just to enrich my knowledge, because there is difference between the practical knowledge and what you get in the university.
Hmm.
Then the first thing I changed in this organization was going to my manager, says, I want to take the payroll from accounting department. It should be with me. And then like a thunder struck. What do you mean? What is this? And then we started. I convinced them, and I moved all the payroll into personnel at that time. So I was,
Hmm.
and I bought a software at that time. Qualified supplier. We bought the software, so we brought the automation.
So why did you bring
And
it to personnel, and why did you not keep it in accounting and make them do it more effectively?
because people used to come to me and says, I want to increase, I want to leave, why this person is getting more than me, what happened to my salary, why is this deduction? I don't have the answers, so I need to
Hmm.
go to accounting, and when I want to talk to the accounting, if he's busy, if he's not, I want to see files, whatever, then I realized is no, this should be coming under personnel, and we will manage the whole thing. At that time we didn't know about the word the employee life cycle. There was
Hmm.
nothing, we naturally it used to come, and I used to bring it all together. And then and it was a mix of the personnel, administration, labor affairs, etc. So this is how I got into this, and I liked it.
Hmm.
i
What
spent
did
i
you
spent
What
sorry.
did you like about it? What did you like about it?
I like about, because it gives you insights to people. It gives you insights on how you can really work closely with the management and build a proper structure, build a proper culture. These terms were not really famous at that time,
Hmm.
but based on my relation and how it's important to be in good relation with all the stakeholders, and by creating this connection with them, trusting each other, I was able to bring everyone to one table. It says, guys, it's a new company starting a business, like it was only like 3 4 years, and we need to work together. If I don't work with you, you don't help me, I don't help you. We need to build this together. So it was like bringing me to the table to people, and this is what I like. I was able to connect and learn from people. And another thing, I started at the production line,
Hmm.
so I came from that area. This is where the changing thing that happened to me, that I went through the process before I go into the office. That's what I
Yeah.
like to say.
Yeah.
Mm.
It helped you build a deeper empathy, I believe, right? So,
Yeah, yeah. And you know one thing, Samir, it's this role used to have to have a, dip- a lot, because it's either you could handle the information and the knowledge in a way to support the business, to support the people, or literally you will be working against the business if you don't handle it properly. So
yeah.
this is where it's a very sensitive, it's a very delicate, let's say, role, and I liked it. I felt that I am part of the strategy, part of the business, not only like just a corner office and just ticking the box and doing the day's job, and that's it.
Which brings me to my next question, which is
Mm.
you are in an organization where they were empowering you so much. They're giving you so much trust. They were telling you go ahead and do what you want to do. You want to move payroll from accounting to uh, personnel, do it. You want to do all these initiatives, do it. Everything they were empowering you and helping you become part of the strategy of the business. What made you leave?
I was always aspiring for a better position, a higher position, and at one point of your career, at the start, you always, when you gain maturity, you always look for a better income as well. But the key thing that made me leave, that I always was aspiring work with a place where I can build the business from scratch. This opportunity came to me, I couldn't resist it. That's
What is the
why that made me.
opportunity?
Oh,
What is
it
the
was it was a life changing opportunity, Samir. To tell you the truth, I got approached by a multinational company, a tobacco business. It's called Japan Tobacco, JTI, back in year 2000, before
Mhm.
the Y2K. And I met with them. We agreed on everything, and literally
Did you
when they
find
told
them
me
or
that
they found you? How
they
did it?
found me, they found me actually.
What did you do so that they actually found you?
There was no LinkedIn, no recruitment
Yeah,
platform.
exactly.
Word of mouth. They must have talked to somebody. They must have engaged with somebody in the like auditors or someone, if I recall correctly, and they recommended. They said, "We know this guy." So it was a word of mouth at that time.
Hmm.
They approached me and I joined them. And when I joined them, they said, listen, there is no company, there is no setup, there is no structure, there is no physical presence. And by the way, there is no contract. I said, what? Yeah. He said, my GM told me, listen, do you have a laptop? I says, well, my father has a laptop. He says, just bring it to office. We need to use it until we buy computers to that extent. And I
Wow.
joined them for a month without a contract, just a word of mouth. We really started the business. I was going with the GM at the evening, buying furniture for the office. We had the premises. We were selling the scrap, old machinery, everything from scratch. To a funny story, when I started doing the employee record system because we were hiring people in the first 3 months. And I was creating like simple numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever. And I told him, I put you number two, I'm number one. He says, no, I'm number one. So, yeah, it's this is how that's why I moved because literally I was able to create something. And I was telling people that, guys, I used to go to the printing press and I was
Hmm.
drawing the invoices,
Yeah.
going to printing press for my friend, tell him, design, this is the design, give me the invoices. Because in the tobacco, it's a highly regulated business. So you have to have everything in place. So it took us like 3 months until we set up everything. December, January, February, we did the grand opening and we had the people up and running and we had the distribution ready. We transferred people and so on. It was an amazing journey. Uh, and this is where, with those people who joined us from the beginning, we still have this kind of click or connection.
What was about that company that gave you the confidence to leave everything and dive in and, say yes to it? What was it about them?
The main discussion was the career growth. My question to them that okay, I always aspired to be international. I wanted to leave. I wanted to go out of the country. I wanted to move out. I wanted to work somewhere abroad. I always dreamt of being in this corporate life, and that's what shaped this view when I worked in my first employer. Because my first employer were an international business. Okay, also Crown
So
Hold
by this, so by this time you had already left the dreams of being an entrepreneur?
switched completely completely. So this is where maybe it was not, it was a thought, it was a youth thinking, university, everybody wants to have their own entrepreneurial journey, but maybe it was not really a solid thing. It was an impact by my peers, my colleagues, my friends. But when I went into the corporate life, when I went into this company, the Crown Holding, and I saw how the corporate HQ, regional offices did what I need to do in the first job I had, it encouraged me that, wow, that's a nice life to be in. And
Hmm.
from there, it started to move on. But the thing is, when I joined this Japan Tobacco, it excited me because of doing things from scratch, putting your own things, doing your thing, because it gives me more ability to put the things that I want to make as your thumb mark. And they have very solid, strong international career
Hmm.
growth.
Did you stay in Jordan or did you travel? Where
Uh,
was it? Was it?
well, yeah, when I joined them, I stayed in Jordan for like 3, 4 years. And then in year 2004, they asked me to cover for a colleague who she was on maternity in the Baltics market.
Okay.
So I was in Jordan, going 2 weeks to Baltics market and coming back 2 weeks to Jordan.
Hmm.
So this was the 2004 back and forth. 2005, I left Jordan after I finished my assignment, came back to Jordan, and 6 months later, I moved out of Jordan and I started my international career. And that starts in April 2005 until now.
Where is it? Iran, Sudan? Where all
Yeah.
did you?
2005, I moved to Iran, and I spent around like 6.5 years, 6 years in Iran, and it was very interesting assignment. The GM in Iran called me by name. He says, "If I want to fix this market, I need Maher." So my regional HRVP called me. He says, "The GM
Same
wants
Japan
you by name."
tobacco? Also
Sorry.
Japan tobacco?
Yes, Japan Tobacco. From 2001 until 2021, Japan Tobacco. So
Mhm.
yeah, I worked in Iran for 6.5 years. Iran was the fifth biggest market for JTI. So imagine the importance of this market. And I joined it. We were like 60 people. And when I left, we ran an expansion nationwide. When I left, we were like 300 people.
Mm.
It's a phenomenal market. 100 billion people, geography unbelievable, culture. It's really amazing culture, and this is what gave me an advantage as well. Worked with several cultures, so
When when you work in different cultures, different markets like this, what is it from an HR perspective or from someone who is driving the business strategy that you see is the small nuances that needs to be addressed?
cultural sensitivity is very important, and cultural learning is very important. But and being an expat, you need an HR as well. You need to really have this, let's say, be one step ahead and understand the people, understand the culture, and trying to mediate to make sure that everyone's on the same page. Because, for example, some culture they don't shake hands, and in
Mm.
some culture, if you don't shake hands, it's an offense.
Mm.
So this is and the edge that I have is I was able to talk to everyone, to talk to people, and being part of the selection process to locate people. So I was able to connect with them and give them some explanation about the culture and learn about their culture and making sure that we come together. And the great thing is that when you operate in a corporate, you have values. So we all work under these values. We have a supporting behaviors. We comply with all of this, and we have this code of conduct. So there are the guidelines that ensures we respect each other, and we need to understand and talk to each other.
The thought that is going through my mind continuously while you're speaking all of this time is, you have so much fire. I mean, right from day one, just after you got out of college, even while in college, you had so much of fire, and you wanted to create impact and you want to do things. And when you got into this personnel and realized that you can kindle this fire and make it grow higher and higher within this, I don't have to do a business and I have to do this. Was this a quality that you had right from childhood? How was it nurtured by your family or your parents, or how is it that you stepped into this whole persona of having fire and then constantly kindling it and allowing it to burn brighter?
Yeah, I believe that part of this is impacted or influenced by, of course, by the family, by what you see. Uh, my father used to be traveling all over the world, was always kind of like a hyper person. Uh, he doesn't have the patience. He wants everything quickly. So I think this is what shaped me. And one of the things at the age of 13, uh, he took me to his office and he says, "You work in my office." Well, I was not able to stay at home, summer holiday. So I worked in his office, and my first job ever at the age of 13. There was no labor child laws, whatever at that time. um, I was an office boy, and I was doing those stationary photocopier person, mail boy, going around the offices, delivering mail. People. So I was walking all the day and moving all the day. So it's part of the nature of the person, and yes, it's shaped by the environment around you. And also the other thing is my uncle is a project guy. He's an engineer. He always in the field, and I always like to go with him. He used to go there weekends. I used to go with him to the projects. and you always work with your hands. So I have this thing. I need to do things. So I
Hmm.
think this is how it's shaped.
And from that, what I'm getting is you always have a innate desire to be of use to others, to be of value to others.
Yes, I one of the things that feed me as a person to feel that I'm satisfied, I'm successful, is to ensure that I am available to support and help others in a way to pass the knowledge to them, not to do it on their behalf. Okay, yeah, I'm a pull sleeve guy, and I like to be involved, but at the same time, you know, uh, you have to teach people and to pass the knowledge.
Hmm.
And this is where you need to be very cautious, very careful in your role, in your position, and how you do things. And this is where you build the confidence to trust people and to understand that this person is a person that I need to empower. I trust him. And I learned this from one of my managers. Decide, move ahead. If you made a mistake, I'm here to support you, and there is no harm. Come and tell
Hmm.
me that you made a mistake so we work it together.
That's a beautiful share. Do you have any more stories of people who mentored you? What is a very powerful mentoring lesson that you have learned from someone who mentored you?
Yeah, a lot came through my journey, and a lot who also left an impact. It's very surprisingly, yesterday evening, I just sent a voice note to our regional president who retired from the company in JTI after 30 years of service. He retired back in 2015 or 17. We're still in contact, you know. I just sent him a voice note. How are you? You're okay? Also, just wanted to check. We check on each other from time to time. And I told him, yesterday you came to my mind with your slogan, what
Hmm.
doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to say thank you for this valuable lesson, because he used to tell me this when I was in Iran. Imagine 2005
Hmm.
until 2000. I worked with him from 2005 until 2018 or 17, and he was always a person that is available. So this is one person as well, and my one of the guys, also my GM in Iran. I'm still in contact with him. He's retired here in Dubai. Also, he was one of the top people mentors I worked with. So there are like GMs, regional VPs of HR. You work and they leave an impact in your life. And the beauty of it that we still in contact with each other.
Hmm. Yeah.
So the learning is
Especially,
constant.
and that's why I think it's called the department is called personnel, right?
Personnel, yeah, absolutely.
You
Yeah,
keep things personal.
yeah. But it's good that it evolved from personnel to HR to people and culture, you know. Yeah.
What do you think about the naming culture of it evolving? What do you think is the logic behind that, and is it right? And where do you see it going in the future with AI coming into play and the whole world evolving right now, uh, and functions being redefined, and possibly we don't know what it's going to look like in 5 years. But what's your prediction?
Well, the naming I have, I mean, it's not say, not really something that defines it as much as what defines us is what we do and how we do it. Okay. Some people are still using human resources. Some businesses or people are using chief people officer role or people and culture or people of people role. You know, these kind of things. So, but at the end, it's what you do. I think the way it's being shaped, the world is developed and developing. Okay, and one of the addition was diversity, inclusion, then comes well-being. That's the COVID era, or before the COVID started a bit as well, earlier than COVID. So you need to keep on adjusting or adapting, but the naming will keep on changing. I mean, the creativity will be there, but what's important is what you do actually and how you do it as a function. And
And
yeah.
well,
Yeah, regarding how the evolvement is going on with the AI, I'm a big fan of AI. I mean, it's to me, AI is there and it's here to stay and it's here to help us. I always tell people that we use AI to inspire us. If you want to use it at the minimal, let's say, But AI is an amazing tool that is here to help us. Yes, there are AI agents that will do a lot. In fact, yesterday, the day before yesterday, I was talking to a friend of mine, and we are talking about the AI agent that is being now one of our friends developing AI agent that works on organization design. Imagine
Okay.
the work. So
Yeah.
it is there, but you need it, and you need the expertise to supervise and to do the quality check and to ensure that the outcome is serving the purpose. So it's not a threat, it's a support. And I always say, with the industrial revolutions, there was lots of jobs losses, but lots of jobs created. AI is coming or came, lots of jobs will be transformed, lost, and transformed and created for the future.
It's about how do we stay more relevant, right, in a world of AI.
Yeah, that's where I'm a fan of being reskilling and upskilling.
Hmm.
You need to keep on learning, keep on developing yourself, and keep on catching up with the change. Post COVID, the change was in a very different pace, slow pace, I would say. But sorry, pre COVID, but post COVID, things are changing by the day, literally by the day. I mean, yesterday we're talking about ChatGPT, today we're talking ChatGPT 5. Sam Altman the other day was talking about ChatGPT 7, and he
Yeah.
was imagining how it will become.
Yeah.
Hmm?
And we are we are the bridge between the two worlds, right? I mean, we have the experience, we have seen so many things in the past where it was pre-internet, pre LinkedIn, pre all the tools, pre AI, and then we have gone through that. But in 10 years, 15 years, we are going to have a generation who perhaps has not seen any of this, and they have lived only in an AI world. uh, any predictions or any thoughts on how that world is in your mind going to look like?
Um, a human will remain important element. We will be there. Okay, there will be robotics. Maybe there will be there will be, not maybe, but there will be advanced technologies and so on. But I think we will remain relevant. The role will remain relevant. Maybe in the future we'll be addressing robots issues and challenges, and it's an AI. What if two robots fight with each other? Who's gonna you
Yeah.
know what I mean? I mean, we need to stay relevant. My imagination that it's not we will not be fully replaced, okay,
Yeah.
but we need to reinvent our industry, ourselves, to be able to play a part in this evolution or this development. Um, yeah.
So I was just reflecting back on what the title of our podcast is, how to build HR ground up from in complex markets. And complex markets could mean countries like Iran, Sudan, or whatever. But we are going to live in a flat world where the whole world is a single market, perhaps. And probably the complex market that we can refer to over here is the market which has AI, and AI is bringing in the complexity. So if that is the case, and you were to build something from scratch up to deal with this complex market, uh, how would you set up a business or a company? And if you are tasked with, okay, here is a market, and we have to build something to make it $1 billion business, let's say, and your role is to come in and strategize how we build this. Where would you start, and what would you do?
At the beginning, I would like just to say that complexity, it's also associated with us as a human, because we're human. I mean, you deal with 10, 15 people, they're all different. You very rarely to find, unless you have an identical twin, that they are the same thinking, the same, but this is where also part of the complexity that, okay, we are, and that's the beauty of it. So
Yeah.
every day there is something new. The same when it comes to complexity of AI, and the future. It's also something, I'm not to tell about the future, but yeah, there are some complexities which we can challenge, we can address, from machinery, from robotics, from AI. But these things can be solved because it's something we design, and we put it up and play. I mean, who designed the AI? Us, the human.
Yeah.
You know, we said we put the seed, and then it started to build on. But when I go to a business and I need to, first thing to me is the important thing is to understand what is the business
Hmm.
commercially. You need to be commercially speaking the language with the peers, and when you work with your teammates, when you work with the top management, you need to be there to add value and secure your place on the table. Understand the business, understand the financials as well. I'm not saying that you become a CFO, no way, but to understand numbers and how this, your budgeting, your planning, your organizational design, how it will impact the bottom line, and where you can contribute to drive the business growth. So it's very important to, that's why we call it HR business partner, to
Hmm.
understand. So commercial understanding and know your product, the strength of your product. This is where, when I go to those markets where I do merger and acquisitions, the beauty of it is that I'm spearheading the HR due diligence, but I work with all the other departments and understand the business. With this, I would be able to come with a right fit organization structure, okay, that will serve the purpose, and made with agility approach as well, because few years down the line you need to relook into your strategy, relook into your organization. It's not like the same when you make the acquisition. It's not going to be the same in 48 to 24 to 48 months, you know. But
Yeah.
it is the business understanding, Samir. Yeah.
Understand. So now I believe you're doing a lot of consulting work and you have moved away and you're doing independent work, right? And you're working with quite a few different organizations. Apart from understanding the commercials of the business, what are you noticing HR professionals not doing in their roles in most of these businesses now? That if they started doing would impact how they showed up as better CHROs or HR professionals? Or what is it that they are not doing, but if they did, would make a huge difference to the business? Are you seeing any patterns?
Yeah, few things that struck me actually, that some HRs, they need to push themselves. We need to push ourselves to speak more with the top level management. We need to speak bluntly, openly, in a constructive way with the executive, with the CEO, with the owner. You know, we have to say it. We have to speak it up. It doesn't mean we say, if I tell you something, that I'm criticizing you in a negative way. No, they need to encourage two-way conversation. They need to, they need to show themselves that they are part of this round table. So speaking with the top management and trying to show them what's going on, what we need to do better, how we can improve, how you can improve, what can we do to become a better organization, to become a better department to serve you. They need to listen also to the others and receive feedback. That is very important as well. But our function need to create this more stronger link and
Hmm.
connection with the C level, and addresses also openly what they need, because not every CEO is a leader for the organization, but also they rely on you. I always say sometimes you're lonely at top,
Yeah.
but this is where, as an HR, as a professional, you need to close the gap in this loneliness and be there.
Do you think, to reframe what you just shared right now, that a lot of HR is actually playing a submissive role than an assertive role?
I cannot say a submissive role, and I don't want to generalize, but uh, given the environment and the structure that we have, the fast pace and what's going on, organizations are becoming more transactional.
Yeah.
We need to do this, just tick the box and do it. Tick the box. You need to take one step and slow down, okay, and just look into things from a different perspective. We need our HR people to have a holistic approach to things, not to have a tasks approach. Yes, there are people in the organization, in your function, who will do those daily tasks, whatever, you know, repetitive things. But this is where, as a manager, mid-management, you need to be developed to be able to look into things from a different perspective, holistic approach, holistic view. As one of my previous managers said, you have to give it a helicopter view. So
Hmm.
this is where where our HR needs to push themselves more, and the leadership needs to play a bigger role on encouraging this, which is coming, by the way, which is happening. Now I started to see some businesses that are very selective in filling those C level, filling those director level. Uh, they started to look forward, but the pace is very fast here.
You were blessed where when you got your first job, you had an organization leaders, including your brother, who empowered you, who, because it was your brother also, perhaps you had more voice, you were able to communicate more uh, fluidly with the management, top management. Not many people have this luxury,
Mm.
right? Not many people have access
Yeah.
to the top management, or uh, the transparency or the fluidity to access top management. Even if it is not there, how does one break through? How is it that one will start creating the building blocks so that the top management starts listening to them?
Yeah, yeah, I agree, but it's not only that being okay. It is a blessings, but you need to build the trust, Samir. You need, in my opinion, to get this. Okay, I gave you the car, but you don't know how to drive it. Can I
Hmm.
trust you on driving a Formula One car or a Ferrari car? You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
you need to train yourself that to drive this vehicle, and then I will be trusting you to keep it with you. So this is where I need build the trust, show that you are a trustworthy person. I always say convey yourself that you have objective, which is a common objective with the organization, with the management, but they need to trust you, and they need to see things from you that you earn their trust, because trust is the base for everything. Yeah.
So if that is the answer, and then there will be people who will say, I will do what you tell me to do, and then I'm doing all of that.
Mm.
So the trust
That's
is there, but
mm.
that does not translate automatically to the person who is working on themselves to start having a seat at that table. So isn't there something else beyond trust that has to also be in his mindset?
Yeah, it's a when you said I do what you told me to do, then I had this conversation. So if I tell you jump from the window, you will go and jump, and then I will trust. You know what I mean? So it's not just do what I tell you to do, because I might be wrong.
Yeah.
Look at it, do the right thing, but also the character. I need to build your character. I need to nurture your character, and this plant the seed of trust, and the seed of whether it's certain skill, behavior, attitude, that all comes together. How can I trust a person and he's technically I trust him, but personality wise, very, very bad. You know what I mean? Then the business is damaged, or the function is damaged. Okay.
Yeah.
But it is also the attitude and the behavior that is play a big part.
So while you're sharing, the thought that, hello.
Yes, I'm with you.
So the thought that is coming is what they want to trust you the most with is your ability to make effective decisions, the quality of your decisions, right? And I think as a manager or as a individual performer, what they want to see is how good you are at making decisions.
uh, Courage,
Hmm.
uh, deep thinking,
Hmm.
and I think it's also linking all the dots. As I said earlier, look at things from what it will impact, what will be the repercussion of any decision. Okay, but above all is being courageous. That yes, you step in and you own your decisions, you own your mistakes, you own your success, and you pass the credit to your team. So these are the things we need courageous people who would really stand up and raise their hand, raise their voice, if they believe in their selves and their views.
Is courage something that you can teach, or it has to be something already within the person?
Um, Courage, it's in everyone's DNA, I would say, because we have adrenaline, and adrenaline is the thing that But as an organization, as a top management, as a culture in the organization, they need to develop this spirit. Okay, that we give you the tools, we give you the learning, you are engaged, we have a stronghold structure. This is where it puts all the right environment to nurture this courage, but you need to make sure it is professionally contained.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it will be arrogancy.
If a company came and consulted with you and said, Maher, please come and help us. We want more courageous leaders and managers within our organization, but we are seeing a lot of them are not being courageous.
Mm.
Uh, what would you do? What would be the steps you would take, and what would be the duration you would say for the next 6 months, 12 months, or what would you? How would you take the task on?
I will look into it. Firstly, I need to engage with the top level, with the CEO himself, with the GM of the organization, or the CEO or the owner, because it's cascaded.
Hmm.
What is his style? How is he leading? How is he managing? How is he communicating with his team? How his team then will talk to their team, and so on, because all reflects. So the company psychology,
So
it's a
the,
wide.
the leader at the very top must be very courageous, but he might suppress everyone's courage.
Yeah, some leaders I worked with, he says, you don't decide, I decide, and you do what I decide. And so he's courageous, he's conquering the world, he's you know but he has all executors, so nobody. Yeah.
Yeah. So how would you go about when he realizes, okay, courage has been absent in my environment for a long period of time, and now I'm realizing that probably I am the cause and I'm the reason, but I
Mm,
want to change things around now, and
mm,
I want to empower and have more courageous leaders
mm.
from within my organization.
Yeah.
Uh, if that becomes the mandate, then you have already had the conversation with him. He said, "Go ahead, Maher, do what
Mm,
you have to do.
mm.
I'll be all with you." What will
Yeah.
be your next step?
I'll make sure that we have governance. We
Hmm.
have documented, clear system in place, clear role, policies and procedure that protects and gives the right guidance, and all of this to be in place like a constitution within the organization. Okay, because when you have it in writing, it is there. So I know my boundaries, I know my role, I know my responsibilities. Everything needs to be documented and transparent and shared and communicated and very well comprehended by the management. And this is where you bring all the blocks together, and the culture works in harmony, and the courage becomes
But that
created.
So if you're putting everything in paper, if you're putting everything in writing, you're putting governance documents, then isn't that playing safe, trying to be more safe than courageous?
Not really safe and encourages as part as of having this as a reference, because this is where then you can grant your people that there is always room to go beyond.
Hmm.
And this is what we do. For example, let's say I know that if I set a budget and I exceeded my budget by 5-10%, it's not going to be the end of the world. I need to go there and I justify, and I am empowered, and I have this because I have a proven track record. But the whole system, the whole concept, the whole organization supports this, nurture this. So
Hmm.
you put it, documentation is there, but you need to practice, you need to demonstrate, you need to walk the talk, you need to ensure that you're, as a business, as a management, as a leaders, you are connected and listen and understand, and everyone has the intention to do the right thing, and you give the right tools.
When you go into an organization, I mean, now or especially, there are these a lot of people who will transfer and get new jobs, or you also went to Iran, for example, you went to Sudan, and you might go in a leadership role or in a management role. How do you build trust and credibility in a new market or a new environment or a new office space where they will keep telling you you're new here, uh,
Mm.
this is not how things are done? uh, how do you build trust and credibility in such an environment?
Um, we're a global, I mean, the world has become a village. It's so it's not a rocket science, to tell you the truth, just to understand people, understand the environment, understand the regulations. But as much as you understand the business, as much
Hmm.
as you really know the numbers. Now you would say that I'm an HR, but I need to know the numbers. Uh, and you have this connection with the people. You listen to the people. So this is where the formula is: connect with people, listen to people, receive the feedback from people, and understand what is the commercial aspect of the business. So
Hmm.
then it fits together, and you can speak with all level in the organization. And there will always be people who will try to outsmart you. There will always You will make mistakes, you will make wrong decisions. Yeah, it happens. But this is where you need to give me the feedback and to work it together. So it's your personality, how to approach things, but connecting with people is very important. Listen to people is very important, and give them this space to express and to share.
Hmm.
Because the people in a certain country, they know better than you lots of details and deep
Yeah.
things. Yeah.
So it's about creating partnership and co-creating solutions, right?
Yes. Yeah.
What is the biggest talent retention problems you're seeing in these markets right now, in MENA, South Africa, or, I mean Africa markets and MENA markets of these areas? What is the biggest talent retention challenges that HR is facing?
Mm. It's
Because people are moving very fast. LinkedIn has made it easy for us to find
yeah,
jobs, go
yeah,
out, for people to identify us. You don't
yeah,
need to wait for a referral.
yeah. When you say this, immediately people will think about the dollar sign or the pay. No, I will look into it, in the culture, the environment, the
Hmm.
career growth, career ladders that you provide to me, the opportunities, what kind of a balance you bring as an organization, how you care about rewards and recognition systems in the organization, how you understand my concerns, how do you treat me. Uh, by the way, new generations, Gen Z and others, they don't look into how much you pay me. They look, is it hybrid? Is it working, remote working? Do I need to be in office? Uh, okay, can I work from abroad for like a couple of weeks and so on? So this is what they're looking for, and we need to look the leadership style. Some people leave the business because of their toxic environment, toxic bosses, leadership challenges. Uh, these are the key retentional issues we're facing. But above all is the well-being and the mental support and the work-life balance, which will never have 100% work-life balance. But at least if the organization understands me, addresses my concern as well.
And we are seeing right now, I feel more and more attention being paid to well-being as a concept, right, at workplace, which is never thought of 20 years back. Nobody even
Yeah,
considered even having a conversation around well-being at work.
yeah, yeah. My first well-being initiative was back in 2018.
Hmm.
In Bangladesh. I was in Bangladesh, and before that, I was in Sudan. Also, we launched lots of well-being, and it was there actually. But social media was not developed in a way to spread this everywhere. But there are companies used to practice this, but as I said, they didn't have the marketing tool and the communication. But so I did the well-being employee assistant program. We had it over there, financial support, psychological support, etc. We used to bring subject matter expert speakers as well, female empowerment. But yeah, post COVID, things have escalated and were multiplied by, you know, hundreds maybe. So the impact is and the effect is so huge.
Mm.
And with the stress of the technology, with the stress of the environment demand, it's becoming a famous topic. Plus, it is associated with the new generations who are highly careful about their well-being versus some other generations as well.
What did COVID teach you apart from this well-being and other things? The whole COVID experience that we all went through. You must have looked at it through your own lens of having been in HR and leading people and business and everything. That experience of probably close to a year or year and a half, almost two, perhaps, for it to completely. Uh, what was the awakening moment? Did you have any
Yeah.
to
Okay.
insight something?
First of all, I would say that biggest learning from COVID is don't take everything, nothing for granted.
Hmm.
Anything can change overnight.
Yeah.
No matter how you're going in the speed of a bullet train, you could come to a halt at 1 second, even less. So nothing is for granted. This is where you need to always be prepared and be agile and be flexible and be adaptable, be able to change with the situation. And the biggest thing is that life is too short. Take care of yourself. We need to remain healthy. We need to remain fit. We need to take care of ourselves. The world has come to a stop.
Yeah.
Okay, and the world adjusted. Okay, there was some companies reduced pay, whatever. People lost their jobs, whatever. But at the end, if you are not healthy and not able to provide, to you could not you need to recreate yourself at one point. So you need
Hmm.
to keep working on yourself and be self-cautious and self-aware. Uh, that's one key thing. The other thing is the strong family ties.
Yeah.
Even if you don't have family, strong ties with few people who will take care of you and support you. That is very important because we are social butterflies, I would say. We need to socialize to feed our energy and to feed ourselves.
Yeah.
Yep.
Find your flock and fly with them. No, fly along with them.
Yes.
We are almost coming close to an hour, and I can't believe it.
Wow.
Right?
I can't believe it too. Wow.
Uh, but before I close, I want to ask you, since you spoke about, life is too short. What is your mission in life now, moving forward? And I know you're someone who always, I've seen you so many times, and I've engaged with you so many times in different events, etc. And I've always seen you. You're someone who has a lot of energy, right? And you're just raring to go and do the next thing. What's your mission in life right now? What are you? What excites you?
Uh, what excites me is being able to count my blessing every day and wake up every day and just see that I'm alive, I'm waking up. I planned yesterday, but I didn't die today. So I can do what I want to do. Making sure that creating a legacy, uh, keep doing what you love to do. Above all is nurture yourself, nurture your soul, your spirit, yourself, your energy. Talk to yourself.
Hmm.
Uh, I'm very blessed person that I have my family next to me.
Hmm.
And although I was my life was traveling, commuter, and so on, but I have the family next to me, and I'm able to provide
Hmm.
and being a backbone for the family. And lots of people who wants help, they will call me and seek help, even if when I don't know. So
Hmm.
that's also a blessing that you are accepted in
Yeah.
the on the ground to be accepted on the other world as well.
So, what is your mission now? Is it to serve and help, or is it something
My
else?
my mission is to keep providing, keep giving, keep
Hmm.
supporting, serve and help in a way to balance with your needs as well. I would love to see myself being an anchor and a point of reference and being easy approachable and people would say, yeah, I learned this from Maher, I learned this from you. Mhm.
There's one last question. I'm just very curious all the time, and I don't know what is the meaning of the word Mahar. Can you share with me what the meaning is and how it connects with your mission statement?
I think, yeah, you get something of your name. As Maher means skilled,
Wow.
skilled or a skillful person.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think it's this is where I have this skill that I can adjust, I can adapt, and the skill of connecting with people, skill of helping people, and skill of learning my areas of development as well, which I keep on working on.
Mashallah. And also, when you're in HR or people and culture, you're upskilling everyone constantly.
Hopefully.
It's been a pleasure, Mahar. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you very much. My pleasure. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Ciao.
Bye.